Good day, everyone. I am Tochie Lapinig, and I will discuss the process approach and the cooperative learning. But before I will discuss the process approach and the cooperative learning, I will read first the learning objectives. Okay? At the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to A. Define the process approach and cooperative learning, outlining their core principles and key elements. B. Provide examples of how each approach can be used in different subject areas. And C. Share the significance of the process approach and cooperative learning in promoting student learning and development. The process approach emphasizes learning through stages, focusing on skill development rather than just the final product. It encourages students to plan, draft, revise, and reflect, promoting active learning and critical thinking through continuous improvement. In short, the process approach prioritizes skill development through stage learning, fostering active learning and critical thinking. And the cooperative learning is a teaching method where students work in small groups to achieve shared goals. It promotes teamwork, communication, and problem solving while enhancing social and academic skills through collaboration. In short, in the cooperative learning, it uses groups to achieve shared goals, promoting teamwork, communication, and also the problem solving. Now, let us know deeper the process approach. Okay, the process approach. Okay, process approach to learning and teaching mathematics is characterized by experiential learning, discovering and exploring mathematics through mathematical and life challenges. Okay, process. Now, when we say process, it is the steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. No, and the process approach, it emphasizes the development of skills through step-by-step process. It said that first approach characterized by experiential learning, discovering and exploring mathematics through mathematical and life challenges. Example, in fraction, you as a teacher, you are not just letting them read what is fraction, but you let them experience, know how to use fraction in real life situations. Example, you let them slice a bread. Now, if this one whole bread and four people want to eat this bread, okay, how much bread does each person get? Of course, each person gets one fourth of the bread. Now, with that, they can easily understand the lesson or they can easily understand the fraction. Okay, the process approach, while valuing the learning process, doesn't mean neglecting the subject content. It is not abandoning the what, the facts, and concepts, but also focusing the how, the way students learn and understand. Um, Learning follows repeatable, structured steps to ensure understanding and skill development. You as a teacher, you let them learn from simple to complex. Example and fraction. You let them know what is fraction, parts of the fraction, to complex. There's a step by step. Now, for the children can easily understand the lesson. Okay, knowledge is used to develop skills through hands-on activities rather than just theory. Okay, it emphasizes teaching practical skills and knowledge that children can directly apply to their lives. It also prioritizes hands-on activities or hands-on learning. Uh, and also real world experiences. Example and measuring. No, you let them measure the length or the width of a square or something. There is a experiential learning or learning by doing. With that, children can easily understand the lesson. No, especially in uh, and understanding mathematics. Now, it is important to have learning by doing for them to easily understand the lesson. Okay, now a brief description of the expected sequence of development in both simple and integrated process. Okay, first we have the observation. Okay, noting characteristics of objects using sensory perceptions, taste, sight, hearing, smell, touch, progressing from simple to complex observations. Okay, observation is the condition of inquiry. Example, students are studying plant growth. They observe a plant daily, noting changes in height, leaf color, and the presence of new leaves. Okay, this is the first step for you to understand something. No, for you to understand something, of course, you have to observe. That's the first one, the observation. Next is the description or communication, accurately conveying observations through precise verbal and written communication, utilizing descriptive vocabulary for colors, shapes, sizes, or etc. Okay, once observations are made, it's crucial to communicate your observation clearly and accurately. Example, students describe their plant's growth using descriptive words. Or, example, the plant grows centimeters taller today. Now, with that, through communication, no, you share your knowledge, no, to everyone, and also they gather information from you. That's the importance of communication. Next is the classification, sorting and arranging objects into meaningful groups to develop skills in identifying relationships and noting similarities and differences. Um, this involves organizing objects or information into groups based on shared characteristics. It helps students identify patterns and relationships. Example, students collect different types of leaves during a nature walk, and then they classify the leaves on based on shape, size, color, and it's like smooth ba, and it helps them understand the diversity of plant life. That's classification. There's a arrangement, or you let them organize their observation or findings. Next is the measurement. Determining dimensions, length, width, volume, or etc. To instill skills in using various measurement methods and understanding standard measurements. This is about using tools and techniques to determine the size, the width, or other quantifiable aspects of objects. It introduces the concept of standard units of measurement. Example, students measure the plants on the school grounds using rulers, and then they compare their measurements using standard units like inches or centimeters. That's measurement. The last is inference. Drawing tentative conclusions based on observations or experiments, fostering critical thinking and ability to withhold judgment. This is about drawing conclusions based on observations and evidence. Example, students observe that their plants have grown taller in the sunny window than those in a darker corner. They infer that sunlight is essential for plant growth. That's inference. There's a knowledge na because of the observation, communication, and classification to have the inference or conclusions based on observations and evidence. Okay, I am done discussing the process approach and I hope you understand. And now let's proceed to the cooperative learning. Cooperative learning is an instructional method in which students work in small groups to accomplish a common learning goal under the guidance of the teacher. It is a teaching method that can help students social skills. It is widely recognized as a teaching strategy that promotes socialization. The purpose of cooperative learning is to provide opportunities for learners to work together. Cooperative learning fosters both academic learning and essential social skills, communication, leadership, and decision making. This statement describes an activity or environment that benefits both intellectual growth and personal development skills like communication, leadership, and decision making. Okay, cooperative learning involves five key elements. And now let us know the first one, the positive interdependence. Okay, positive interdependence means students rely on each other to succeed. Their success depends on the group's success, requiring teamwork and coordination to complete the task. Um, the positive interdependence, it's like they cannot succeed individually unless the whole group succeeds, and this creates a sense of shared responsibility and motivates everyone to contribute. Example in jigsaw activity. Each group member is assigned assigned a specific part of a larger topic, and they must learn their assigned section and then teach it to the rest of the group, making everyone dependent on each other for a complete understanding. That's the positive interdependence. Next is the individual accountability. In the cooperative classroom, students work together as a team to create and to learn. But ultimately, every individual student is responsible for his or her um, own performance. Okay, the individual accountability. While students work together, each individual is responsible for their own learning and performance. That's the individual accountability. Example, in a group project, each student might have a specific role or task to complete. They are accountable for completing their part well, even though they are working as a team. That's the individual accountability. Next is the promotive interaction. Group members actively encourage and help each other succeed, leading to better outcomes and reduce anxiety. The promotive interaction, it is where students actively encourage and support each other's efforts to complete the task and achieve the group's goals. They provide constructive feedback, help each other understand concepts, and work together to find solutions. Example, during a group discussion, students might ask questions, build on each other's ideas, and offer different perspectives to help the group reach a deeper understanding. That's the promotive interaction. Next is the interpersonal and small group skills. Okay, let us know first the interpersonal skills. Okay, interpersonal skills include actively listening, stating ideas freely, accepting responsibility, and providing constructive criticism. Okay, when we say interpersonal, it is where you communicate and interact with other people. That's interpersonal skills. And the small group skills include taking turns, sharing tasks, democratic decision making, perspective taking, and clarifying differences. The small groups naman, The small group skills are essential for working effectively in teams. They involve taking turns, sharing responsibilities, making decisions together, understanding others' viewpoints, and resolving conflicts respectfully. That's the small group skills. Okay, the interpersonal and small group skills, uh, students develop and practice essential social skills that are important for effective teamwork. These include communication, active listening, conflict resolution, decision making, and taking turns. Example, before starting a group project, students might discuss how to communicate effectively and how to resolve disagreements and how to ensure everyone has a chance to contribute. That's the interpersonal and small group skills. Okay, the last one is the group processing. It involves reflecting on a group's session by describing which actions were helpful and unhelpful and making decisions about which actions to continue or change. And the group processing, the group reflects on its performance and discusses what worked well and what could be improved. This helps the students identify areas for growth and develop strategies for working more effectively together in the future. Example, at the end of a group activity, my students might discuss how well they communicated, how they shared responsibilities, and how they could improve their teamwork for future projects. That's the group processing. Okay, those are the 5K elements of cooperative learning. Okay, by incorporating these 5K elements, teachers can create a cooperative learning environment that fosters academic achievement, social development, and a positive classroom climate. That's the importance of these 5K elements. Now let's proceed to the forms of cooperative learning. Let us know first the informal cooperative learning. It involves students working in small groups for a few minutes to help them process what has been taught, to think about a particular question, address any misunderstandings about the content, and to quickly recap on the key points in the lesson. The informal cooperative learning, it is a short, quick group activities or a few minutes to a class period. It helps students process learning, discuss key ideas, and clear up misunderstanding. Example, the think, pair, share. Na diba? And think, pair, share. Na it's a quick na group na activity. That's an example of informal cooperative learning. Again, informal cooperative learning, it is a short, quick group activities. And next is the formal cooperative learning. Okay, formal cooperative learning, it consists of students working together for a designated period of time over a few weeks to achieve shared learning goals and jointly complete specific tasks and assignments. Okay, the formal cooperative learning naman, it is where students work in structured groups over several days or weeks to complete a project with shared goals. That's formal cooperative learning. Days or weeks yung grupo. Next is the long-term structure for cooperative learning. It involves base groups, which are long-term, heterogeneous cooperative learning groups with stable membership. The long-term structure for cooperative learning, it is a permanent groups provide peer support for learning, social development, and academic success throughout the semester or year. Example, throughout the year, students work with some partner or small group to give feedback on essays and creative writing assignments. That's an example of long-term structure for cooperative learning. Again, it is a permanent groups, permanent groups uh, for learning, social development throughout the semester or year. Okay, those are the forms of cooperative learning. Okay, now let's proceed to the types of cooperative learning strategies. First, let us know the think, pair, share. Okay, in think, pair, share, the teacher asks a question to the whole class, and students get some solo time to think about a possible answer or to write it down. Then they have to find a classmate and get some pair time to share and discuss what they have just found out. After the teacher randomly chooses two or three pairs and asks them to briefly share their answers or responses. That's the think, pair, share activity. And now let's proceed to the focus list. Okay, it is the focus list provide students with a topic and they brainstorm as a group. Example, when beginning a new lesson, you can have students share a word or phrase they think of when they hear the topic. This can help introduce your lesson by saying what your students might already know about a topic. That's the that's the focused list. Okay, next is the sentence completion. Okay, sentence completion, it is where one student in a group start a sentence on a piece of paper. Then they pass the paper to another member in the group and starts a new one. Okay, and that's the sentence completion. Have the group do this a few times until they have written one or two paragraphs. The that's the sentence completion where one student write a sentence and then pass it to another member of the group, and then he or she also have a sentence to have a paragraph. And the aim could be to teach team collaboration as they build a story using the group's collective story ideas. That's the sentence completion. And next is the interviewing classmates. Interviewing classmates, it is where assigning students into groups of three, or you might have them interview each other on specific topics. You might ask one student to prepare a few questions. Okay, the interviewee student can answer those questions, and the third student can be the note taker or reporter. Okay, this allows students to practice their listening and comprehension skills. That's the interviewing classmates activity. And the last one is the uh, jigsaw pieces. Okay, the jigsaw pieces. One way to improve subject comprehension is the jigsaw method. Each student in a small group is assigned one piece of a larger project to research. All of the research pieces are then put together by the group, and you might also consider having each student paraphrase their classmates' research to strengthen. That's the jigsaw pieces. Okay, those are the types of cooperative learning strategies. In conclusion, process approach and cooperative learning represent distinct yet complementary pedagogical strategies. The process approach emphasizes active learning and skill development through experiential learning and problem solving, while cooperative learning promotes collaborative learning and the enhancement of social and communication skills within a structured group setting. Both approaches offer significant potential for enriching the learning experience and achieving diverse educational objectives. Um, both both the process approach and cooperative learning enhance education by fostering um, active engagement, skill development, and collaboration, making them valuable strategies for achieving diverse learning goals. Okay, if you want to learn more about the process approach and the cooperative learning, these are the references. I hope you understand the process approach and the cooperative learning. Thank you for listening.